بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين
اللهم صل على محمد.
اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we are able to have this session from Winnipeg. I've been here teaching with Professor Hubner a course on peace resources in Christianity and Islam. And the course was very good, and we had very good participants, about I think 26 people from different backgrounds, different countries. And it's also interesting that I just remembered today that I think the very first Skype meeting I had with Sister Fatima and Brother Jihad and Brother Mubarak and maybe some other people was from Winnipeg on Velaya. We had one-off session online, and I think that was May 2011 from Winnipeg. Actually, the same building, but another room. So, Alhamdulillah, since
I still remember this discussion.
You remember, yeah?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. So, Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us tawfiq to carry on, and we pray that inshallah we would be able to carry on in future, and of course in a better inshallah quality. Okay, we continue our reflections on Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, and I sincerely pray to Allah that He helps us not only to understand better, which is important, but also inshallah to be closer to what we study here and to have these traits of character, inshallah. Allahumma wa antiqni bil huda. After saying fasalla ala Muhammad wa alihi wa tafaddal alayhi, maybe we discussed this last time. We say salawat to the Prophet and his family, and we say to Allah, please have your favor upon me. And we already talked about the meaning of fadl. So to be very gracious and very kind with me by giving me what I would not deserve and what would be beyond my expectation. Then we say, Allahumma wa antiqni bil huda. One of the things that I remember is the late Ayatollah Mishkini, rahmatullah alayh, who was such a pious and a spiritual scholar that maybe some of you also have heard him, and he passed away a few years ago. So he was very familiar with du'as, and he has also actually a book, Misbahul Munir, which is like a collection of du'as. He used to start many times his talks with this phrase from Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. And I think also Mr. Qiraati. Allahumma wa antiqni bil huda wa alhimna taqwa. Oh Allah, please enable me to speak bil huda, with guidance. So open my mouth or my tongue with guidance. What does it mean? It can mean either, please enable me to say what is guidance, something that is helping myself and other people to be guided, or it may mean, please guide me in my speech. Antiqni bil huda means with guidance enable me or make me talk, or make me talk about the guidance. Both of them, of course, are important. So, although for us, one of the easiest things is to speak, even if we are very weak, even we are very ill, still we can speak. But how to speak, what to speak, when, where, how much, these are some of the most difficult things. So to speak is easy, but what to say, how much to say, where to say, how to say, to whom to speak, are so many, there are so many questions there, and we need guidance for that. It's not that everyone has enough knowledge about the subject, but even if you have knowledge about the subject, it is just part of it. You need to have wisdom also about how to deliver. And sometimes maybe you decide not to speak. Sometimes silence might be better. There is a hadith which says, if speaking is silver, silence is gold. So to be silent also sometimes can be better, or might be necessary. So to decide, shall I speak or not? How much? How? When? To whom? So these are very important issues that need guidance. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us guidance with respect to our speech and silence, of course, because by implication, silence also would be guided. And also we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to speak what would be guiding us and other people, what would be benefiting us and getting us closer to the truth. وَأَلْهِمْنَا التَّقْوَى, and please inspire me. Taqwa means please inspire me to be able to observe taqwa, piety, God-fearing. Taqwa, again, is something that has theoretical aspect and practical aspect. Theory is general, is universal. Practical aspect is particular, lots of particularities. So, if you ask me, what is taqwa? I might be able to give you a definition of taqwa in few minutes. But then, if you ask me, what does taqwa require in this particular situation? Then that's not easy. You may know what is taqwa in general. What's the definition of taqwa? What are the main issues about taqwa? You know all these in theory, and you can pass a test. If there's a theory test, you can pass the test. But when you are actually involved in a situation, there is a tension, or there is a temptation, there is a hate, or love, there is interest or harm. You are very busy, very involved, very engaged. First of all, to remember that you have to be muttaqi is important. Sometimes you may forget. Sometimes, for example, when you are driving and it's very difficult, for example, it's a very jammed traffic and it's very hot, and some drivers don't drive, carefully and legally, and it's a struggle, then to remember your taqwa. Or when you are in meeting and some people start, attacking you and, charging you with false accusations, to remember taqwa is important. Sometimes we forget. But even if we remember that we should be muttaqi, we should observe taqwa, what does taqwa require from me in that time? That is not easy. And that is actually the main issue. The theory is needed for these particular cases. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to inspire us what would be taqwa in this case or that case, to inspire us so that we understand how I can act, how I can take a position, how can I speak with full commitment to taqwa, with preserving my taqwa, or even more, with strengthening my taqwa. So we ask Allah to inspire us. We need His guidance. We need His inspirations, because it's not just a theory that you have to study or read or ask. Sometimes, especially when you are dealing with something, and this is a very important issue in our life. We are dealing with something, and then something else happens on the side, and we like to continue and carry on with what we were doing, but then something else comes. For example, I have to finish a work. Suppose I am writing a paper, or I am editing something, or preparing myself for a meeting or lecture, and then I have a little child who comes, or my husband or wife comes, or a guest comes. What should I do? Maybe for me, the most natural thing is that I want to carry on with what I was doing. But shall I ignore the other person? Or shall I always stop what I'm doing and just welcome the other people? Or if I have deadlines to meet, how to find out a balance, how to make everyone happy and pleased if possible, and at the same time don't lose my own, work and my own orientation and concentration. So many issues are here. How to please people that may have expectations from me that are not haram, but not very good, not very wise, but still they want me to do this. And I don't want to displease them. I want to make them happy, but I am also personally not very comfortable. What should I do? What does taqwa require? Especially if, for example, my parents or my in-laws, I don't know, my wife, my husband, they want me something that it's okay, it's not haram, but it's not something that I like it. What should I do? So this needs constant guidance and alertness. You have to be very alert, very cautious, and seek guidance. So we say to Allah with alertness, with acknowledgement of our need for guidance, Alhimni taqwa, please inspire me with respect to taqwa, so that I remember that first of all, I have to be always muttaqi. Because taqwa has something to say for every situation, every scenario. So first, I should remember that I should observe taqwa. Secondly, I should understand what does taqwa require from me here. وَوَفِّقْنِي لِلَّتِي هِيَ أَزْكَى. Very beautiful. Please give me tawfiq to do what is the purest. I think we have already talked about tawfiq in some of the previous sessions. Tawfiq is to bring different conditions, different requirements for doing something together. So, for example, if you want to go to a class, if you want to go to a lecture, if you want to go to visit a person who is ill and is in hospital, if you want to go to masjid, there are many things needed to be there so that you can do this. You have to be alive, you have to be healthy, you have to have free time, you should, I don't know, there should be security, there should be, for example, a means for transportation, other people should be, for example, letting you free to go. So there are so many things. You have to have attention, you have to have a strength. So when all these things come together, we call tawfiq. So we need tawfiq all the time from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the things that mu'min needs is tawfiqan min Allah. Mu'min, for example, the hadith says mu'min needs three things. One is tawfiqan min Allah, to have tawfiq from Allah. The second is wawa'idhan min nafsih, to have a preacher from yourself, your internal preacher. If you don't have any preacher inside, external preachers would not be helping that much. And thirdly, وَقَبُولًا مِمَّنْ يَنْصَحُهُ, mu'min needs to accept a good advice that comes from people who give him advice, wish him well. So this is tawfiq. So we ask Allah to give us tawfiq, means to give us all the requirements for doing something. But what is the thing that we want to have tawfiq for? What is the thing that we want to be successful in doing it? التي هي أزكى, something which is the purest. Maybe the purest path for doing something, because allati is for female. It doesn't say لِلَّذِي هُوَ أَزْكَى. If it was, for example, meant to refer to amal, to action, should be لِلَّذِي هُوَ أَزْكَى. Like we have وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا هُوَ أَرْضَى. Perhaps this allati refers to the tariqah, as we have in after two sentences, the path, or taqwa. So give me tawfiq for having a kind of path which is the purest, a kind of taqwa which is the purest. Doesn't make that much difference, but just if you want to go by words literally, we have to clarify these issues. So what is important? We want Allah to give us tawfiq, plus tawfiq not just to do good, tawfiq to do the best. But the way to refer to the best here is azka, the purest. The best has to be the purest. The purest in the sense of that you do it with the purest of intention. You choose means which are the purest, the methods and tactics which are the purest, and you add to the purity of yourself, purity of the people who are affected by this action. Because our journey is towards Allah, who is the purest of the pure. So getting closer to Him means that we should always be purifying ourselves and try to use pure means, pure words, pure actions, pure relations, and make it more and more pure by constant refining process. وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا هُوَ أَرْضَى. O Allah, please use me for what is most pleasing. وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي is very important. If you remember, in the beginning of the dua also we had this, actually it was to just 2-3 lines at the beginning of the dua. After 2-3 lines, we had this: Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa alih, wakfini ma yashghaluni al-ihtimamu bih, wasta'milni bima tas'aluni ghadan an. Wasta'milni bima tas'aluni ghadan an. We had this in the beginning. Please use me for what you are going to ask me about it tomorrow. So it means, please use me in what I have to be answerable. Like, for example, a student who wants to know where exam questions may come from so that he prepares himself. So it's better if we spend our energy on something that you are going to be asked about. This was what we had this. وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا تَسْأَلُنِي غَدًا عَنْهُ. Here we say وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا هُوَ أَرْضَى. Please use me in what is most pleasing. As you see here, we have azka, we have arda, and then the next sentence, at-tariqat al-muthla. All of them is aiming at the best, because mu'min should be ambitious, realistically, of course. And that is, when it comes to your du'as, when it comes to your planning, your intention, aim at the best. When it comes to your expectations from people, be realistic. You have never been the best, so why you expect people to be the best and to do the best? No, be realistic. But when it comes to planning, we can plan, we can pray, we can try for the best, so that either we have the best or at least the second to the best, the third to the best. But if we just aim at average, or just, something which is just passing the test, then there is a great chance that even we may not achieve that. So, وَاسْتَعْمِلْنِي بِمَا هُوَ أَرْضَى. Please use me for what is most pleasing. Means most pleasing to you, and of course then would be most pleasing to every rational person. So people would love it also, if they are rational. And normally most of people are rational, unless there is a confusion or ignorance there. Otherwise, by heart, if there is no already position in their mind or heart, and they are open and they are in the state of their fitra, they like good things. Allahumma sluk bi at-tariqat al-muthla. Oh Allah, please take me to the best of the path, the best of the roads, path, routes, tariqah. We have this saying from Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, al-yaminu wa-shimalu madallah, wa-tariqu al-wusta hiya al-jaddah. To lean towards the east or west and lose the straight path, this is misguidance. At-tariq, at-al-wusta, the middle position, is the path, which is the straight path. So, Allahumma sluk bi at-tariqat al-musla. Oh Allah, please put me on the right track, which is the best path, al-muthla, the best. وَجَعَلْنِي عَلَى مِلَّتِكَ أَمُوتُ وَأَحْيَا. And please make me live and die on your millah. Millah, like for example, we have وَاتَّبَعَ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيم حَنِيفًا. Millah means tradition, lifestyle, religion, a way of being. This is millah. So you can say, make me able to live and die on your religion, on your path, This is the meaning of millah. The way that you want me to live and die. Even to die is very important, how we die. So not only how to live is very important, how to die is very important. And actually how we die is very much reflecting how we have lived. كما تعيشون تموتون وكما تموتون تبعثون. As you lived, you will die. So your death is a reflection of your overall achievement. It's like when you receive a summary of everything you have done, or you received a transcript of all your exams, and then as you die, you will be resurrected, because your death has already reflected your life. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enable us to live and die on His path, on His religion, on His way of life that He accepts and is pleased with. Okay, I think I stop here because there are very important concepts here and very important concepts also in the next part. So it's better perhaps not to have them all together in one session, so that inshallah we can better reflect. So let us read this part again, and our intention is now that we say it as dua, as a request. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma wa antiqni bil huda wa alhimni at-taqwa wa waffiqni lillati hiya azka واستعملني بما هو أرضى. اللهم اسلك بي الطريقة المثلى واجعلني على ملتك أموت وأحيا. O Allah, please enable me to speak with guidance, or speak about the guidance. Please inspire me taqwa. Please give me tawfiq to do or to be on the path which is the best, which is the purest. Please use me for what is the most pleasing. Please put me on the path which is the best, and enable me to live and die according to your own religion and your own path. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.